Yes, students, this video is made to make you to understand what are the important questions that you need to learn in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So we are following ISC Physics Class 11 book by Kumar Mittal of Nagin Prakashan. So it's a part 1 of the book. So it is important that all of you have the same book so that we'll all be able to learn together that particular chapters in the same pattern. So the first chapter is physical world. This chapter is not so important as far as examination point of view, but there are few definitions which might come, and it should be also important for your understanding also. So what is physics? You would have already heard about it in the videos. You can go through it once. And scientific methods, the scope of physics, and also you see the various branches of physics, what are the various branches is available, and then the next one is the laws which is governing physics, the nature of physical laws. In this one, conservation of mechanical energy. This law is important. It is better if you learn once. And also conservation of mass energy. This is the next definition which could be very helpful for you. It is basically E is equal to mc square. Delta E. The mass energy equivalence will be given in this definition. So it is also called as Einstein's mass energy equivalence relation. In the next page, you see in page number 14, conservation of momentum. This is a very, very important definition. You will be learning much more in detail in the following chapters, but it is important to understand this. And conservation of charge. Okay, you have to have a little idea about this also. And conservation of mass number. So the mass number always remains constant. It's told here. Conservation of law and symmetry. I'm not saying these all things you need to learn. Conservation of momentum, if you learn, that will be right. And then you have the forces which are there. Gravitational force. So you would have learned this one earlier itself. Weak force. The definition is important. What is weak force? It is given in the bold letter here. Weak force, what is the one? And the amount of times which is stronger than the gravitational force. And the next one is electromagnetic force. And the last one is the strong force, that is called nuclear force. These four forces, you should know the definition and the basic parameters which is there in it. As you know, all the four forces, the relation between each of them. This relation also is important, which is strongest and which is weakest force. It is important, you need to know this one. And the rest of the pages, it's okay, you need not learn everything, you can just have an understanding about what it is, applications of physics, and also the physics relation into other sciences. It's only just for your understanding. So with that, this chapter gets over. In the next chapter, chapter 2, units and measurements, error analysis and significant figures. The syllabus is given in brackets. This is the same syllabus. You should verify whether it is there in the ISC physics syllabus also. You can download the syllabus. So it is important you study only what is given in this side. And others things it is not so important. Though the book may say many things, we need to understand with respect to the syllabus. So these things, the first page is always just an introduction. You have to just have a reading of it. You can just know what it is. What is unit, what is the numerical value, and all these things. Going to the next page. you see fundamental quantities and fundamental units. So you will find the basic reasons behind it, followed by systems of units. We all know this one. It is just again a review of what you know already: CGS system, FPS system, MKA system, and SI units. So this SI unit table is something that you should know. So please make sure that you know this table properly. And also the supplementary units. There are two units are there: plane angle and solid angle. Now followed by, there are certain things which is important for you. Now what is definition of the SI units? So every SI unit is being defined here. Meter is defined here, and followed by all the other things also it will be defined. This basic definition is not so important as far as exam is concerned. These quantities, the conversion, these all of them you need to know, because it will be coming again in your chapters for numericals. But as far as examination point of view is concerned, there are few calculations which is given here. Astronomical unit, AU, very important. What is a light year? The definition and the calculation is important. And the next one is, what is a parallactic second? The definition as well as the calculation is important. You already learned this one in a video. Now once meter gets over, you get the second SI unit as kilogram, and that kilograms definition is here. So it is just a block which is kept in Paris with a specific dimension. So that specification is given there. Definition wise it is not so important. In the next page that we see, page number 26, there are few relations which is governing the changes of mass. So you find here metric ton, quintal, gram, milligram, and especially this is very important. You will be studying also much more in detail about the mass, atomic mass unit. So that also that conversion is important. You need to learn this one. Seconds, that definition is given there, but you should know a bit of the conversions of smaller units. And also you have the smallest unit of time is given here. 1 shake is equal to 10 to the power of minus 8 seconds. Followed by you have the definition of ampere, Kelvin, mole, candela. All this are there. You need not learn this definition, but you should have an understanding about what it is. But learning radian and steradian is important. These two definitions you should know, because in the due course of time it will also come in our syllabus. So please learn this definition as well as with the formula. So followed by certain examples of derived units are given here, and the list of derived units are given in this one as well as in the next page. So it starts with velocity, density, velocity, acceleration, force, pressure, work, power. These all things are derived units. It is just I think the explanation is given there. These are all things is not important to learn. It's fine. And the prefix is also given here. And what are the various range of length? Also it is given here. So in this chapter you will be studying in detail about measurement of length. In this page number 28, you will see the various devices which is used to measure small distance, as well as some of the methods which is used to measure large distance is given here. So vernier calipers. So you find the definition, how it is measured. It is given there. You know already, you have studied in the lower classes. You should again learn this one. Least count definition is important. Screw gauge is important here. How does it go? And spirometer. So these are three important measuring tools that we use so that you could measure small distances. And the next one is direct method and indirect methods. So there are some indirect methods which is given here for measuring large distance. So one of the first one is reflection or echo. So this also you can read and understand. A very simple formula is given here. So you should know this one. So when a sound is given here, the sound travels one way, it gets reflected and comes back. So both the ways of distance, the distance going and distance coming back, it is given here as 2s divided by the time taken, the total time taken to go and come back to the original point. So you can find out the distance here, v into t upon 2. Similarly, the same technique is used for radar method also. You should know what is radar. This is, the abbreviation is important, and the same formula it is also there, and you can also read and understand about what it is. This method is important. Laser method. What is laser? Light amplification by stimulated emission. That's the expansion of laser, and you should know about how it is being done as well as the distance. Sonar method. Again, sound navigation and ranging is the expansion of this one. Same method is used so that you can find the distance of anything. It is another indirect method. Triangular method, you already know about the trigonometrical functions that you would have studied in the lower classes, even in mathematics. That's the same thing. I'm not marking it this one to get a simple one. The next page is, it's the same triangular method which goes on to say about two different angles. One time you stand here and then measure see the top one, you have the angle here theta, and then go a little behind and have another angle. Then you can find out the height of the tower or tree or any kind of a pole. You can find out the height. This is an indirect method. We know this formula. That's a way to find it out. Not important as far as examination point of view is concerned. The next one is important. Measurement of size of astronomical objects. So it's a very simple one. You can just read it and understand. It's already given in a video lesson also. Followed by, this is a very important method called parallax method. A separate video was given to you earlier about parallax method. So there's a small illustration which is given here. This illustration is not important. What is parallax method? Why do we do that? All these things it is given here. This from here, the entire of this page till this point, it is not important here. But you can go to the last part of this one. The formula is important. You can learn this formula. Followed by, there is a diagram here. This diagram. Suppose this is a star that you wanted to measure the distance from the Earth in this position, and you have a reference star which is a little away. So from this, in this position, you see the reference star first and see in what angle it is there, and then turn your telescope to the star that you are going to measure. So you measure this angle here. So you keep the eye on the reference star and then keep an eye on the original star that you wanted to measure. You have a phi 2 as a angle which is here in between. Similarly, after passing through next 6 months, the position of Earth goes to the next point, which is to the other end, and then again measure the same thing, the reference one, and then the one which is close by. This is the one which you are going to measure, and you get the phi 1 angle also. These two angles will help you out to find out the actual distance from here to here. You will be able to find out, because you know this phi 1, then that is equal to the parallel one. So you can have this is phi 1, this is also phi 2, because this is phi 2, this is alternate angles. So phi 1 plus phi 2, it gives a total angle here, phi. And we know already this is, what is this distance? This is 2 astronomical unit. So you can easily find out this particular thing, and we can get the distance of the nearby star. So this particular formula, phi is equal to AB upon S, will give you an idea about how to measure this one. This diagram with this expression and few points to write about the method which is followed, that will be enough to give you an idea about what is parallax method and how you can find the distance of a nearby star. So that is the parallax method. The rest of the method, it is Avogadro method, is also indirect method to find out the small distance. You can just go through it. It will not be so important to learn this one, but you can just take a look on it, how it is, what it is. Okay. The next one is molecular layer method, which is there in the next page. You can just take a look on it, not very important. And the next one is range of masses. What are the various range of masses is given here in the table here. So right from electron to the entire universe, how much far it is and how much close this one is. You find a range of masses, a distance which is given here. You can have an idea about it. Measurement of mass is also various indirect method for measuring mass. So you can just take a reading of it. There is one method called measurement of inertial mass, which is given here. The method is quite clearly given here. Just take a look on it. Not very important as far as examination point of view is concerned. In page number 34, you will find the same way. The time period of the inertial mass, those vibrations and as well as the mass variations are given here. Just take a look. And measurement of gravitational mass, how to find out the mass using gravity. You already know this. It is just a physical balance. You can just put anything because of the gravity, it just pulls down and you'll be able to measure it. So that's the way it is explained here using this one. The next one is weight and mass. What are the relation between this one? It is given here. We know this one, so it's not so important to learn. Followed by the various ranges of time intervals. So starting from half-life till the last part of the particles, how much the stable particle lifetime is there. Measurement of time is also given there. So quartz clock and atomic clock and all these things. It's important to know what atomic clock. And it's also important to know quartz crystal clock. These two things are important. And decay of elementary particles is also another timing they say. Radioactive dating. It's also important to know this one. In time interval, you need to definitely know this one because in numericals, this part it comes. In the next page, you find accuracy and precision. These things you would have studied in chemistry also. This is the same thing which is given here also. Not very important as far as examination point of view is concerned. You can just take a look on it. And more about accuracy and precision. A lot of examples are given here which is accurate and which is precise. These things are given here and explained quite nicely. And then the important topic starts, that is errors in measurement. How error happens, the sources of errors and all things are given here. There are two types of errors, systematic errors and random errors. And what is a systematic error? It's given here. So it could be of various varieties. There are three systematic error divisions are there. Instrumental error, error due to imperfection, and then gross error. You should have an understanding about what it is. And instrumental error and all these things. And next one is a random error. So what is a random error? How random error arises also, it is given here. So you need not learn any definition so thoroughly. You should know the basic difference between these two things. Please learn that. What is the two big division of errors? That is systematic error and random error. You should know these two, the broad definitions. That's enough. The next page, page number 38, methods of expressing the errors. So this methods are very, very important. It has a calculation point of view. There are 4 definitions and its formulas are given here. Absolute error, mean absolute error, fractional error or relative error, and percentage error. So this whole page is very, very important. Absolute error. So please make sure that you learn everything thoroughly. And then mean absolute error. So what is that calculation goes. And then relative error. And last, it is percentage error. So this entire thing you need to learn thoroughly, and as well as the numericals based on this one also. It is important. Followed by least count methods are given here. So accuracy in measuring things, it's fine. You can just take an understanding about what it is, how accurate it should be, and all these things. As far as examination goes, nothing much from this page will be coming, but this understanding of this particular page will be okay. I'm going to the next page. Page number 40. Combination of errors is given here. So when you sum or have a difference of two quantities, how the error will magnify, how the error will multiply, that's what given here. So it's a derivation here. This derivation you need to have an understanding, that's enough. Otherwise it may not really come as a derivation in the examination. In some schools they ask, but the derivation is not worth memorizing it. You should just have an understanding about what it is. So similarly, it is a product and quotient also. When you have two multiplication of anything, two things, how it goes, how the error magnifies or multiplies, you have an understanding. Similarly, there is an alternate method also. So percentage error, this formula is important. Already you know this one. Okay, when they were adding or subtracting, how it goes, and as well as the percentage error of this one also, you can just know this formula. And there's an alternate method also, logarithm method is given here. Now this final part is important. This is the most important thing when you're having multiplication or division, how the error will be calculated. It is a sum of the fractional errors. You need to have a sum of the fractional errors will be the main thing here. Similarly, here also, when two quantities are added or subtracted, the limiting error is the final result is the sum of the limiting errors. So this also it is involved. This definition is important. How the errors are calculated when two quantities are added and two quantities are multiplied. So this is given here in this one. Going to the next page. So the power of the measured quantity, what happens in the power, so that's given here. You can just know this formula, that's enough. Then significant figures. Significant figures, all the rules of significant figures are important. So there are 6 rules given in this page, and then another rule is given in the other page, that's 7th rule. So all these rules are important. So you should know all the rules. As well as the 7th rule is also given here in this next page. So please make sure that you learn all the rules thoroughly, as well as the examples based on that. And there are a few of the things which is given here. You can just have an understanding of that. Rounding off also, you know already how to round off a figure, and what happens if there is a 5 is a number that you need to round off. That particular thing only if you need to know what is, when it is 5 is there and followed by you need to round up those other numbers, then how will you take the rounding of figures? You should understand, especially this last point is important. Going to the next page, page number 44, significant figure in addition and subtraction. This is so important as far as numerical goes. So when you add or when you subtract, how do you calculate the significant figure? So this definition will be very important for you, how you have to calculate. And there is an example given here. Similarly, when you are doing multiplication and division, that's also given here. Significant figure, how you calculate this one. So how do you add, or how much significant figure is going to be calculated in the result, that's given here. Similarly, how much significant figure you have to take as far as multiplication and division goes also, it's given here. You already saw a video lesson, it is based on this, and followed by some of the multiplications are given here as examples here in the next page, and then order of magnitude is given here. So what are the various orders that you need to follow? Then so from the next page you will find, from page number 46, the numericals are given here. All the numericals you need to go through it, and it will be good also if you learn, and as well as if you learn the formulas and know how to do these numericals. Some of the numericals are given in the NCERT textbook also. Pretty simple numericals are given here, and some numericals already we have solved with the example questions as well as other things. So you can just go through all the numericals that will be important for you. This chapter is mainly a numerical chapter. All the calculations are important, and there are first few questions are all based on the NCERT numericals. CBC follows NCERT syllabus, so ICC also follows almost mostly 99% is all the NCERT syllabus will be given there. So it is worthwhile to go through everything, and then based on error analysis from this one, these numericals are much more important for you. You already learned some of them, you already derived some of them. Just go through all the numericals which is given here. So these things are things that you already done it. So these all the numericals you already calculated, you've done it in your things, it's already been given as a homework to you. So these things go on, and till example 42 the error analysis are there, and then significant figures numericals also we have done. So we have given some of the numericals to understand. So and then few numericals which is there as example, and followed by you have some of the exercises. You can go through them, and based on the significant figure also you have to put appreciable efforts to go through the numericals mainly. Theory wise it is not so much as there, so numericals all are very very important. So go through all of them and then be prepared for the chapter. I have given an entire chapter view, so go through each and every page. What are the things which is told to learn, memorize, please learn that, and otherwise other things you can just go through it. And as far as the numerical goes, whatever it's been given, you please make sure that you learn everything. Thank you.